In this video, we're looking at a wrist position that makes ball striking so much easier. The fastest way to improve your compression, your direction, and your consistency of strike, people, this is the moment of truth. So guys, right, have a look at this, red, black, compression, and controlling your body, your hands and your wrists can really control the way that your body moves here. Now we've got the table tennis bat or the paddle. I had an interesting conversation there with Eric Cagorno in a video once. He said, what do you call it, a table tennis bat? And I said, like a paddle. You guys are in the States, you're paddling down the river. Anyway, right, black, red, let's have a look at this because it's just a really great visual effect and a way to understand what your wrists are doing. Now, when you move the club away, from this side, all I can see is the red side, right? So when you move it away, all you can see here is red. Whatever you do, you don't see black, right? So if you could just move it away and get the wrist alignments there correct on the way back, you're getting your club face in a stronger position so it's matched up to your spine angle, and you're getting your wrist alignments, 45-degree angle in the back of that wrist is the PGA average, that's a fact. And I can't see black, but when I start to see black, look at that, I lose the angle here. Now, the important thing here to notice, especially with your iron shots, is that when you move through, you actually want to see the black, all right? Now, if I was moving through the golf ball and I was holding a mirror or maybe my mobile phone, I could still see that. That's another effect I want you guys to sort of consider here. Red, black. The driver club head's going to rotate more through the golf ball. It'll rotate more through the golf ball compared to the iron. The iron is a shorter lever, you're closer to it, and you're bent over more. Now, when we're looking at tour players and we look at slow motion at their club head, this surprises a lot of people to see how much that club face actually rotates through the golf ball for the masses of the people out there. But if you get your wrist alignments in a great place, you get the wrist angles in a great place, you can release the club head pretty much however you want, but releasing the club more underneath with your irons and getting this strong right wrist position is a much, much easier way to hit a golf ball. When you see black, shoulder lifts up. When you see the red here, this side kicks out. Okay, so this is what's controlling your body. I think a lot of people think if you get your body right, your wrist will follow. Well, it's not going to happen like that, right? The game's pretty difficult, and we want to have some basic, clear pictures that help everyone. Red, black, and this way, guys, you're getting the bends of your body in a great place. When I see black through the ball here, you're also going to see quite a bit of this lead arm, which gets this shoulder up. And when on the way back, when I see red, it keeps this shoulder down. So you're getting the bends of your body. It's basic, it's simple, but your hands and your wrists, 70% of your speed comes from your hands and your wrists. And using something like this, you can really create great feels in your swing to move through the golf ball like a great player really does. Unfortunately, guys, what we're seeing with most amateur players is the club face is, it comes in either in front of the hands and it's open, or it comes in behind the hands and it's open, and the noodle points up, and so does my mobile phone. Okay, you can see my left wrist, how the left wrist is in an extended position. Now watch what happens to the club face and my hands. Look at that. All right, now there's your delivery. So a great little drill is just to get your mobile phone, pop it in your right hand, and just get the feeling of the phone pointed down. You see the creases in the right hand. Now that's the great thing about keeping your left shoulder down, is you can get more angle in that right wrist at the top. Now, when you see a lot of the club players at the top, you see that right wrist angle. That's what we see a lot of the time. See the right wrist, there's nothing in it. This is what we're after, right? And this is what brings you in. So there's a great little way to help deliver that club head, little feels, little practice swings, get that right hand to point downwards. And you see the creases maybe here on the skin of the back of the right hand. Great little way to create certain feels and sensations to help you become a little bit more aware of what your hands, your wrists, and your body are doing. So hi guys, if you liked the video, please consider giving us a thumbs up. It helps us reach more people. Thank you. So guys, if you could practice with something and it made your wrist alignments work perfectly, if it made your wrists move like great players do and you could physically feel it, would you use it? All right? Would you practice with it? Because I'm going to show you something here that's just, it's an unbelievable way to feel the golf swing. Now, this movement here, what I'm using, and I use it a lot It's the hanger. And I've been promoting this thing for ages because I use it myself in my practice so much. When you set this thing up, when you get to the top of your swing, the ring, it's like 2 or 3 finger widths away here, but when you get to the top of your swing, it touches your arm. So there's a couple of things that it does, right? It gets the perfect left wrist position and trail wrist angle, 45 degrees, gets you just almost exactly in that position, right? Without having to think. Now, when that ring doesn't touch, look at the right wrist. It comes in steep, comes in open. You can't do anything from there. The other thing that it does is it creates good structure. You cannot break your wrists too much at the top, right? So if you break your wrist too much, have a look at that. That's what a lot of people don't realize. When you've got solid wrist position, look at the left wrist, look at the right, break the wrist, that leaves, and then everything bends, breaks, and it's nasty. Now, what I do through the golf ball here, and you guys probably, the guys following my stuff, I like to get the club face in a strong position, and through the ball, I like to release the club under. So it's not rolling, and we're in all sorts of trouble with the high right hip and right shoulder and going this way, because when you get this ring on your arm and you move through, and the ring actually touches your trail forearm, you've got perfect position here, bends, tilts, turns, everything in a fantastic place. So by just simply, I like to use it like this. I get to the top, touches my arm, swing through, touches my arm. Up to the top, left arm touch, forearm touch, through, same thing. And from here, it just, I mean, you can physically feel, if you can physically feel something touching your arm, it just makes so much more sense than to move through the golf ball. Oh, hit that good. All right, guys, the hanger, like every week, there's a discount code in the description box. Get into that because it's a great way to use it also for your pitching and your shorter shots as you're moving around. You're keeping that ring here, which just gives you great structure. And through the golf ball, moving through the ball like great players do, it is an absolute no-brainer. Get stuck into it.
It's fascinating, and it's also disappointing that so many amateurs are held back because they don't really understand what the hands and the wrists are doing. Now, looking at these two players, for example, handicap 0 to handicap 6, you can see the differences here. It progressively breaks down. This is affecting your downswing. This is affecting your impact. And that's why we put together the Move of Millions. It's a great series on WorldClassGolf.com. But reach out to me for online lessons helping people from all around the world. Now, this next click, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about the hands and the wrists, the driver, the feels, the positions that you can use to develop your golf swing.
So people, the important thing to notice here when we're moving through the golf ball with the driver compared to the iron is the driver face will tend, for the masses, for the most people out there, even professionals, it'll tend to rotate more, the club head. Now with the irons and the shorter irons, what we'll see a lot of the time is the release will be a little less, or the rotational rates, I probably should say, is a little less, and we'll have the club face moving a little bit more under. Now, a lot of the time when we're hitting draws and things like that, we will get the toe directly above the heel, but especially for advanced players, releasing the club a little bit more under is a great place to be. We see that with Scotty Scheffler, players that are not rotating as much with the shorter irons, because essentially it's a really great idea to control the club face. Now, if we have good, strong wrist alignments on the way back, we can move through the golf ball here and we can see more of this lead arm through the golf ball. This is an important part to notice how high the shoulder is. When I start to really rotate a lot, maybe it's an unconscious move, maybe I have to, or just poor technique, we don't see as much of this lead arm and this shoulder is low. And from there we have a chain reaction of really negative things in your golf swing. So a good visual aid when you're swinging through the golf ball here is looking at the club face. This is something I use personally in my swing, especially with short irons. When we're moving through the golf ball, I like to have the feeling of my right wrist working a little bit more underneath through the golf ball. Now, for a lot of players out there that struggle with slices, you may need to feel like the club comes out a little bit more pointed in this direction. However, you can just see the right hand, how it's moved into a flex position, and the lead hand here into an extended one. And from this side here, what we do see with that, we haven't rolled the club over. See how I can see these fingers here? So we haven't rolled it over. In fact, when I'm in that position, what what happens is the club's still pointing upwards. Okay, it fools us a little bit. If we were rolling it over, we'd be into here. And of course we have shaft lean, you've got your compression line when your left arm is opposite, or your left hand is opposite your left thigh. You're looking at getting a really good compression line, 10, 12 degrees of shaft lean with your lateral shift. But straight after impact, we're going to be letting this club head swing past the body, because from this position here, guys, right, once we've got the hand under the chin, we've got a big angle here, what happens is the hands don't really move that far into this position here, but the club head moves a long way. Right? So everyone's practicing this move, but they're doing this through the golf ball. And that's why they start to throw the club away and stand up, because they don't have the correct release. And as I've said in other videos, the quality of your release will determine the effectiveness of your downswing. So we need to understand that we need to practice more of this type of position here, where the club's coming, the right hand's coming through this way, and simply revert our way back so that we can sling this thing and really learn how to release. This should be looked at for every amateur golf. This should be a checkpoint. These 3 fingers here and the knees closing up. This is your position. Why don't we start from here and work our way back so that we can actually build up some angles, improve your angle of attack, and release that club head past the body rather than running into a wall and really practicing only this move and making it worse. People, really important part to notice what's happening with your hands and your wrists. It really will influence your future and how you play the game, whether or not you turn into a top player or reaching your potential. Get onto the good information. This is a really important part of understanding the golf swing.
Join the free trial series today and you'll pay nothing and experience golf's newest and most efficient app. The key to playing the best golf of your life isn't more practice. It's simply understanding exactly what you're doing wrong. SWINGSLAPP is the app that lets you compare your swing to the average of the PGA Tour players. Data collected from over 500 PGA Tour pros. Look, it's simple. The closer you get to these proven PGA corridors, the better you play.
Voted Best Swing Analysis and Best Online Instruction by several independent surveys. World-class golf instruction is transforming thousands of golfers at every skill level. Do not miss out. This video platform has over 1,400 videos and 85 separate masterclass series. The most structured and detailed video platform ever created, improving golfers on average between 4 and 11 shots. Join the chat room and join the community of world-class golf instruction. This is golf instruction that you've never seen before. The proven PGA corridors, factual evidence-based material. Unleash your true potential with the cutting-edge swing analysis technology. Experience the thrill of progress with the state-of-the-art practice programs and specialized golf fitness plans. Best information available.